Hey guys, how's it going? Just making sure we're live and we're working. All right, looks like we are. Let's make sure we're not echoing. Okay, let me just share this stuff. Share to my page. Hey guys, how you doing? What's up, me? All right, here we go. Share to my page. Okay, done. Just a little housekeeping. All right. I'm doing well. How's it going? So, I think I just wanted to continue from last week and continue with this Choi sculpt. This is kind of where we left off, and let's see how far we can get. Hopefully we can get her done today. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Neil? Okay. So, let's see. A few little things that I want to do. It's always interesting coming back to a sculpt after being gone for a while. And you're like, okay, what do I need to fix here? Where can I get total active points in menu because you lost it? Well, let's see. I thought it was under preferences. I can't remember actually. Oh, analysis. Is that where it is? No, I don't know. I'm not sure where total active points are. It's a good question though. Maybe somebody else in the chat knows. Because usually you can hover over. Okay, here we go. It does say. It's preferences. I can't see it because there's stuff in the way. Something point count. Yeah, I can't see the wording because the this stuff is in the way and it's the same color. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I can't see what it says. Sorry about that. But it's under preferences somewhere. Okay, so let's see. I wanted to just adjust some things. I want to shrink her waist up even more and just kind of push that like crazy. She's such a bizarre shaped body. I love it. Whoops. Okay. Just kind of want to see it from this angle and push this in just a bit. Got it? Awesome. Okay, cool. Very good. Then I want to raise these knees slightly. They feel a little low. Not that they're very apparent, but there we go. Okay. And these hands are having problems from this angle still. We'll have to figure out what the deal is with them. Thank you so much, Neil. Appreciate it. Neil is our regular link poster. Yeah, and I super appreciate it, Neil. So just so you know. Okay. Now let's see. Let me check. So I think as we work through her face, we'll and her hair and stuff like that, we'll get closer. I'm trying to decide if I want her nose just to be straight up like this, up to her forehead, because I'm not as happy with the profile as I am with the front. I'm trying to figure that out. Hey, what's up, Kev? Can you color pick from your image? Hey, what's up, Marty? You can, but there's a caveat. So you, the color picker shortcut is C. C is in cat on your keyboard. But if I try and color pick off of here, it's going to color pick the background, this dark gray. So if you want to color pick off of this, you have to show your spotlight. You have to make sure this ring is showing right here. Then you can color pick off of here. So that's kind of the secret. Yeah. Here we can go ahead and fill her face with this color. Dark Knight, yes. So I'm just starting the second episode. I've gotten to this point with the first episode. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I wasn't here last week, so yeah, 2 weeks ago. Hey, what's up, Dan? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm doing well. Hey, what's up, Baymax? All right. So I just want to try some things with this profile. Like I said, I'm not really digging it. So I want to duplicate it in case I want to go back, in case my experimentations fail, and I always have something to go back to. So right, you need to turn off the spotlight projection, which I have in my custom UI, which I give away for free over on my site. That's one of the links Neil's been posting over on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can go download this stuff. And right now it does say the user interface is for 2019, but it works in 2020. So I just haven't had a reason to update it yet. I want to see if I can make it even more flat, but I don't know. Solo this just for fun. How much experience do I have with ZBrush? I would say 8 years total, 6 years professionally. So I worked on Disney Infinity for Disney Interactive. That's all these toys behind me. That's where most of my experience comes from. Got a weird thing on the surface here. Hey, what's up, Can? Oh, thanks, Neil. Yeah, it's coming along. I can't wait. It's really close. Okay, I want to give her some eyelids as well, even though you can't really see them in the concept there. It always helps to add eyelids. Let's see what this looks like. So I'm using Sculptress Pro here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Let's see what this gives us. I like to turn adaptive size off and then crank this down. Try 0.05, see where that gives us. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. Oh, fun. Hey, Mosin, how's it going? When is the new form starting? As soon as it's ready. That's any day now is the answer to that. It should be ready soon. Getting close. What these guys are asking about is, so I run a 3D Character Workshop, and with that Character Workshop comes a community, and we've been through several communities, different platforms. The last one, well, one of our favorite ones was Google+. and Google Plus has since died, so Google killed it, and we've been trying to find something similar ever since. And the current platform, the current community we found doesn't quite make it. So we're still looking for some solutions, and I think we finally found one with Discourse. Discourse is kind of an open source forum that works pretty well. Okay, let's see. So I have high hopes for that. So let's build up, use fill, and I'm just going to build up some eyelids just to kind of help this out here. Dark Knight, I do, but I don't post on there as often as I would like to. This is kind of my outlet here. So I stream for Pixologic, and then Pixologic takes these and sticks them on their YouTube channel. So just a bit. Let's see. So let's turn off Sculptors Pro for a minute. Dig down in here. I can't get it to look like what I want it to look like. I need a hotkey to toggle Sculptors Pro on and off. No, this illustration was done by a fantastic artist named Choi. And Neil has been posting her links to her artwork in the chat there. And I was fortunate enough to meet Choi at Lightbox Expo last year. Super nice. I'm going to go a little lower. Let's do 0.04. Just, that's not doing what I want it to do. Is that as low as it'll go? Okay. Sometimes you'll run into this when you have adaptive turned off. I'm going to bring this back to what it was and turn adaptive back on. Okay, then we can get smaller, because when adaptive is turned off, it's based off of, the size is based off your brush size. So the smaller your brush, the smaller the triangles, like this. So then I can kind of paint some triangles in and turn it back off and use pinch. There we go. That's better. Okay, I just wanted some subtle eyelids. Okay. Are you sculpt with a decimated piece? It's not necessarily decimated. It's Sculptors Pro, and Sculptors Pro is based on triangles. I change it. I honestly change it up. Sometimes I'll use ZRemesher. Sometimes I'll use Dynamesh. It just depends on what I'm trying to do. And this time I decided to use Sculptors Pro and triangles. But I'm about to ZRemesh it here. Okay, so I'm going to do that actually right now. I'm going to duplicate this and ZRemesh it. Okay. Okay, let's make this all one. I'm just going to go through and make some poly groups that ZRemesher can follow. Usually artists professionally like yours have so I'm actually going quite fast right now. I mean, you wouldn't, as far as what I typically do, when I'm doing something professionally, I take more time. So I mean, I'm going slow on these parts, but for the most part, like, I got to where I was, like, when I first began in about 2 hours. And that's quite fast for this kind of production work. Usually takes longer than that. So when I'm actually doing production work, I'll take a lot longer. Okay, so for this, thinking about going right along here. I'm just going to see what happens. This isn't my typical ZRemesher layout, but I kind of want to try it here. Let's see, is that what I want to do? I think I do want to have the whole mask on there. I changed my mind. The new, yeah. Okay. Got it all. I might have eaten up too much into this because I don't have enough space right here to go around the mouth properly. Yeah, it's kind of like the Incredibles mask. I actually think about it that way when I'm doing it. Go smaller around this corner. Now this, I should probably open up her mouth to make this work, but let's do auto groups. Okay. Oops. All right, I'm gonna put her ear in a couple groups. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, then let's see. I want to put the rest of her. Trying to decide what I want to do with this. Oop. And then maybe a ring around here. So I'm trying to think about how ZRemesher works. Hey, what's up, Chris? How's it going? Okay, and then let's auto group that. And then mirror and weld it. Okay. Then we need to look for colors that are too close to each other. Like this blue and this green are probably too close. So let's make it a different color. You do that by hiding it and then hitting Control W. Okay, and then I just want to split up this mouth interior a little bit more. That's not what I want to do. Shift M? Oh, for magnifying. Right. Yeah. Paul Gaber uses that all the time. Yeah, it's kind of zoom in, you know, it's like usually he'll use it to say, you know, if I'm trying to click on this thing, but I find it distracting a little bit personally. Okay. So, but it has its place, you know. Okay. So I'm going to, now that this is all kind of poly grouped how I want it to be, I'm going to try it and ZRemesh it and see what happens. Okay, duplicate it again. We have several heads now. Every time I go to the next step, I like to duplicate the object. Okay, and then turn on keep groups, ZRemesher. Yeah, we can try 5,000 polys and see how that goes. Oh, let's see. One more thing. This ring is too close to the color of this ring, so let's make it a different color too. There we go. Yeah, if they're the same, if they're too close to the same color, ZRemesher is just going to think they're in the same group. So you need to make sure the neighboring colors are not the same. Okay, ZRemesher, keep groups. Here we go. Drum roll. Take a minute. Good time for a drink of water. Almost there. Ta-da. Okay. Yeah, it didn't work. Not too bad. Kind of like it. Little warbly here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Okay, auto saving. Okay, so why did I do that? Just to kind of have cleaner topology, and essentially I can turn on dynamic subdivisions now and keep rocking. Okay. What is your pipeline to work on subdivision or Dynamesh and using ZRemesh? So usually I will work either in Dynamesh or Sculptress Pro mode for as long as I feel like, and then eventually I will ZRemesh it, just because the a ZRemeshed mesh is much cleaner than Dynamesh or Sculptress Pro mesh. Dan, I've been doing Retopo for the past 2 days. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Retopo can be therapeutic, but it can also be frustrating depending on, you know, how easy it is, how easy of a time you're having. Okay, that's got some weird diamonds happening on her lips. But okay, for the most part, yeah, this is looking kind of how I want it to look. So we have these rings and all that stuff, and that's kind of how I want it to look. All right. Let's grab the detail. I just want to pull these eyelids out a little bit more. And then we can pinch. You lose all the painting after ZRemesh. That's true. Because ZRemesh is essentially rebuilding your mesh. So it's not going to keep any of the poly paint. The poly paint is held in the points of the sculpture. So if you're rebuilding those points, your poly paint is going to go away. Unless you reproject or whatever. Okay. So let's see, let's kind of dig. She's got such a weird face. Okay, I'm gonna pull these eyebrows up. Okay. Speaking of color, we can put a little bit of color on here. It's taking you a lot of time to get out from Dynamesh usually. Well, it depends on how much time you think is a lot of time. Like it's not automatic for sure. You have to think about it as you're doing it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab this color. Oh, hold on. Grab this color. And I'm just gonna give her some like eyeshadow like she has in the concept, just a little bit here. And under her chin. Like what stage when all the parts are connected or even before that. It just depends on whenever you feel like you're ready to combine all the pieces together. So if you watched the last episode, you can see about the time when I combine all the pieces together. And it's variable. It's not the same every single time. It depends because art is messy, you know? So you can do it whenever you feel like it's time. And for some people, like new beginners doing blockouts, it takes a long time before they're ready to say, okay, yeah, I'm ready to combine them together, because the blockout is the most important part of your character. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm just grabbing some colors here. Just roughly filling in the pieces. Oh, there must have been a mask on there. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now I'm gonna make some eyebrows. Now this is just temporary hair. I'll build out her hair later on. Okay, let's do her eyebrows. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's, you know, I'll go back and forth. Like I'll Dynamesh, ZRemesh, Dynamesh, ZRemesh. You know, sometimes I'll do it several different times, and sometimes I'll just do it once during a production. It just depends on what I need to do. But after I retopologize by hand, I won't Dynamesh after that. That's kind of the end, is doing it by hand. Okay, so splitting to unmasked points here. Grabbing these eyebrows. And then fill them with a color. And they're in there, you just can't see them. We'll pull them out. Okay, so let's shape these a little better. Let's see, let me cut in an edge loop. Yeah, it depends on the complexity and if it's frustrating or not. Okay, let's see. I want to extrude one down, but I'm going to wait until I have some thickness. So let's add some thickness right now. Not too thick, and then I'm just going to grab this one, single poly, pull it down. What was the drawing of the eyebrow trick you just did, Dan? That's just the topology brush right here. Just draw on the surface. And then when you're done, you can just click on the surface and it will give it thickness based on the brush size. Thanks, Brennan. The retopo tool, I usually do my hand retopology in another program, whether it be Maya or something else. The topology tool inside of ZBrush, I typically only use for stuff like this when I'm creating new pieces, new objects. But if I'm going to retopologize an entire character by hand, it's not really the best for that yet. Okay. Now I just want to kind of delete or uncrease all and see what it looks like subdivided. That's pretty good. I like that shape. Now our body's all brown. Yeah, Dan. That's kind of how ZBrush is, right? All right, let's fill this. Makes her look more naked, but yeah. Okay. We're good, and then we'll do, so Dan will do the eye, I'll do the eyelashes like right now. You can see. Just gonna shape these a little bit more. Okay. Maybe pull them longer down the side here. Okay. But when you do, sometimes you accidentally pull them off the surface, so you have to push them back down on the surface. Okay. Now, so for the eyelashes, they start about here and they wrap around to there. Pretty good. So let's do the topology brush. You can even grab this color. I know they're going to be the same color. And then, so what's interesting about this topology brush is you can start with any subtool. You don't have to start with the subtool that you're going to be drawing on. Like for example, I have the eyebrows selected right now, and I'm just going to add these eyelashes to the eyebrows. And so even though I'm not drawing on the eyebrows, I can still have the eyebrows selected and draw on the surface of the head. So something like this. Shrink my brush a little bit. I tend to make them thicker to start with, and then I'll adjust them after. Actually, I want to go from thin. Is that going to work? Yeah. Thick back here and then back to thin again. Okay. Okay, and then so you can add thickness right now just by clicking on the surface like that, and it will add thickness based off of how thick your brush is. But I like to adjust it when it's still one single-sided. And in order to do that, you just bring your draw size down to 1, click on the surface, and then it'll just give you a single-sided that you can then go and edit. Excellent work. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I could speak Spanish, but I cannot. Thanks, ZBrush Princess. Appreciate it. Okay, for this, I want to pull eyelashes out in space. So I'm going to do that. Hey, what's up, Art? Long time. Well, welcome. Okay, let's pull it even more. Yeah. You can translate in Spanish. I know what trabajo means. An amigo. But the rest of it, I didn't understand. Grandioso, I think that's grand. Okay, so now we have the lashes. See, they're kind of bending over. If this already had thickness, it would be more difficult to edit. It's just much easier to edit when it's a single-sided surface. Hey, what's up, Lucky? How you doing, man? So, yeah, it's just easier. All my students are showing up today. How you guys doing? Make this kind of pointy, make this pointy. Hey, thanks, Tony. If you can hear me. Miss you, man. We need to do some lunch sometime. I worked with Tony at a company called Glyphics here in Utah. We worked on Advent Rising for the Xbox together. Okay. Now we can add some thickness. Extrude, polygroup all. There we go. Yeah, great to have the video in Spanish. I kind of picked up on that, but I wouldn't have the first clue on how to make that happen. There are some Spanish-speaking streamers here, though, on the Pixologic site. There's Oscar and Pablo. I don't know if they still stream in Spanish. I think Oscar was doing every other stream was in Spanish. Okay, so if I hit D to subdivide, let's get rid of creases and we'll just kind of see what that looks like. Unmask. Hey Marty, that was. Do you know Tony? You probably did you work at Viewpoint ever? Or how do you know Tony? We can have that conversation later if you want. But, okay, and all right, I really need to crank the mouth. I will in the pose for sure. Well, that's how you got started. I think I remember that. Awesome. Yeah, Tony's great. Okay. Now for this, I'm going to do something totally different than I usually do. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna draw the pupil on here with the topology brush because I like pain, I guess. Let's see. Is that what I want to do? This is probably not going to work, but we'll see. Bam. All right, single-sided. Split. Okay, let's grab this color. Oh, you did? Okay. Love Todd. Todd's awesome. Fill. Why? Oh, why did it switch? That's weird. And Boyd, did you work with Boyd Lake too? That's right, Art. I'm letting some of my my old school modeling show. Straight up. That's probably a good idea, Neil. You don't want to put yourself through that kind of torture. Okay. When it started, how's it going? Okay, let's see. I'm going to project just to the eyes. I'm going to delete all these heads now that let me save it though. Well, I guess it read my mind. Auto save. Let's save as TV Choi 4. And I can delete these heads. And this one, and we're left with this one. Good. Okay. And now we can go back to transparent off, and then I'm just going to project these irises onto, what in the heck? Oh, that's why. Irises, not the eyelashes. Thanks, Ken. Okay, so let's project this. You know, there's this new thing in 2020 where you can just project the geometry and not the color. So I can turn the color off and then say project all, and then it'll just snap it to the surface. Turn on dynamic and then bring it out a little bit. Boink. You can see how uncircular that is. I'll need to be tweaking it a bit. Okay, let me bring this in a little bit. Kind of get the placement, and then we can project it again. Bring it out again. Yay. Does it matter what subtool order? No, it'll just project to whatever is visible, honestly. Okay, let's make that a little more circular. There we go. I think our eyelashes are too heavy. So I'm going to turn my smooth down to like 2 and then just lightly, carefully smooth it. Let's see, auto groups, mirror and weld. Can you draw on UV already? I don't know what that means. Like on a surface that already has UVs? You can. There we go. Just kind of smooth that out. Okay. Now let's work on the mouth and get it better shaped. I actually want to give her that smile that she's got there. She's kind of got a asymmetrical smile, so I need to decide when I want to do that. I want to close her mouth more. Yeah, this is a hard concept to hit and make it look appealing. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty. It's part of the reason I chose it. Thanks, Marty. Marty helped me choose this one. I think I'm gonna do the asymmetry later. Puff these cheeks out more. There we go. That's helping, I think. Like drawing on the UV and not on the polygon? Are you talking about paint? Like with color? Oh, yeah. No, ZBrush isn't really meant for that kind of a workflow. I know what you're talking about, but because poly paint is vertex coloring, if you know what that is. And painting on UVs is something completely different. It's painting on the texture. So it's different. And ZBrush doesn't really have texture painting. It has poly painting, which is vertex color. So I think, I don't know if that will happen. I mean, it would be nice, but I don't know if that's in the target. Yeah, the eyes are quite big. I want to check it really quick though, because it looks like the spacing between here and here is pretty big. Let me check it. Just overlay this for a second. Let's see, scale it down. Looks like I've got her ears. No, well, it's too low, too high over here, and yeah, it's a little asymmetrical. Let me get it right in there. Okay. So now I can pull this to the side. Whoops, not that. Not that. The ring. I want the ring to the side. There we go. So I'm looking at her right side. Looks like I got our eyebrow a little too high. Her ears aren't quite big enough. Her head isn't wide enough. We'll see, this eyebrow matches, this eyebrow's not. It just depends. because it's a drawing, right? It's a 2D drawing. You can't match it exactly, or your model's going to look completely off. So you have to take bits and pieces. Like this eye over here looks great. This eye looks too small, or too big, I mean. See that? Because it's in perspective as well. So the mouth is kind of matching. The nose is matching. This eyebrow is a little too high. This one's right on. The ears are definitely too small and too low. So let me just grab this and move it while it's behind here. Yeah, maybe something like this. Yeah, it's pretty close though. It's like, pick your battles. But it's pretty close. Close enough. Yep. All right. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. The square head is the biggest thing, the biggest fight. I think, as far as going against appeal. It looks good in 2D, but in 3D it's super tricky to make it work. Makes me laugh though. I do want to shrink these eyebrows up a bit. Oh, there we go. They're a little heavy. And lower them slightly. Oh. There we go. Okay. Now, let's just get a shirt and shorts and do all the clothing really quick. And then we'll get back to the face and the hair. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm just going to duplicate this. And make a shirt from what we have already. Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is really, really interesting the way they did it. Okay, this doesn't really work back here, but it's all right. We'll make it work. Mirror and Weld, where are you? There you are. Oh. Okay. Delete hidden, and then we'll fix this back here. Let's try doing this. See what edge loop mask border does. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, but maybe we can just push it into submission. I don't know. We just need better flow back here. So let's see. I just need it to look like a shirt and not like a butt. Let's see. I can Z-remesh this and see if it flows a little better. Maybe at a 1. Okay, well, there we go. Delete this. Butt shirt. That's a thing. And a butt shirt called pants. Okay. Shirt. Boom. And then we can just, let's edit the single-sided. Gonna inflate it over the surface. And just edit it. Look more like a shirt. Okay. I just wanted that nice break in the silhouette there. You can do it in the front and the back too. Yeah, inflate with a given, yeah, so you can do hold control and hover over that yellow circle, yellow square in the middle of the gizmo, this yellow thing. If you hover over it, you can actually see it says hold down control to inflate. When you do that, it'll inflate your mesh. Woo woo. Yeah. It's pretty cool little, or it's kind of like move along normal. If you think about that in other modeling programs, move along normal. Yay, Raven. I'm glad you found something new today. Okay. Pretty square shoulders are probably too far out, but let's bring them in a little bit. Okay. We can give it the color that her actual shirt is, this pink. Sweet. All right, we can give her some shorty shorts just the same way we did the shirt. And I can also Z-remesh this to get even a better flow. I'm going to do that really quick. Boom. That's better. See, it goes around the collar a little better. Ah, not around the back though. Oh well, it'll work. Okay. Let's fill this one more time. Every time you Z-remesh, it gets rid of the colors. So, and we don't have enough poly points to do any kind of color on here other than fill it, because it's using poly paint, which is essentially vertex coloring if you come from the land of old like I do. Which just means that each point takes the color, and that's why you can paint on it, is because it's giving you a lot of points when you actually subdivide it. But when it's got a very low resolution, it's difficult to paint on. I can show you really quick. So if I grab this, like, say I wanted to paint this heart color or this heart on the front by hand, if I start to paint on there, it's going to look like that. It's going to look all pixelated and weird. There's not enough information there. Okay, so let's give her some, she's not Donald Duck. Let's give her some pants, or some shorts at least. Okay, so let's do this again, just duplicate it. Looks like we have a duplicated, oh, this is as, okay, we can get rid of this one. Delete this one, because that's the old Sculptress one. Okay, so we'll save it again. TB5. TB Choi, I said Chibi. TB Choi. Then we'll start with this body and duplicate it. Okay, now we'll delete everything that is not the shorts. Essentially is how I like to think about it. and we're going to have the same problem around the back, but maybe we can just use this line right here, this loop, and just use that as the top of the shorts and tuck it up underneath the shirt. That'll work. And then these shorts are super short down in here, so maybe, oh, it looks like we have a ring. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. The ring, yeah, that's because of what's going on here. So let's do it like this. Okay. Auto groups. And then we'll have to Z-remesh these shorts to get a better flow here. Complete hidden. And okay, so one trick you can do is the same kind of trick that I did with the Sculptress Pro, where I basically made a poly group for the Z-remesher to follow. And I can do that same thing again here. So being very careful not to get too close. Thanks, Neil. Okay, I just want it to flow up and around the hips and back down, but I don't want it to be all weird like this. I'm just going to mask the legs off where I want that flow to happen. I want to make sure you get right down to that edge. Otherwise, it's going to put another group there that you don't want. Okay, so now, I mean, you just do your best as far as making the mask go around that area. Okay, then, I mean, you could do more. You could do another mask through here if you wanted to, depending on how you wanted your loops to go. Let's try it. Why not? How do you block your hair? Sorry, no, go ahead, Raven. That's fine. If I miss your question, please feel free to ask it again. So it depends on the hair. But usually I'll just block it out with a sphere, or I will extrude it off of the top of the head, or I will draw it on with the topology brush. It just depends on the style of the hair and what I need it to do. Okay, so now that I have this flow here, let me hide this and auto group it, and mirror and weld it. Okay, so now we have these. I'm going to auto group this one too. There we go. So now we have these different colors and these legs, and auto save. Thank you. All right, so let's try this. And again, I like to duplicate it just in case I need to go back to it. Hide the original. Z-remesh. Let's do 1. Okay. So you can kind of see what it does. But see, now we have a nice flow around the legs, and this kind of guided the mesh as far as where we wanted the flow to go. It did make it kind of warped a little bit, so we can just come in here with smooth and just kind of smooth all that out. You could use edge loop mask border. So it's interesting because Paul Gabriel said the same thing, and you would be surprised. You would think that edge loop mask border would do a better job because it's a cleaner cut, right? So I just want to show you what Dan's talking about here. Okay, edge loop mask border. If you mask something out like this and you do edge loop mask border, it will give you a loop around your mask and that's really clean, and it will put a new group inside. Okay, and it will give you a really nice edge. But what's weird about that is Z-remesher won't give you as good of a result as if you just had it like this. Is that weird? I know it's completely weird. I've tested it. I don't know why. Z-remesher just wants to follow the jiggity jaggedy better. I don't know why. So so that's just kind of the way I've learned to do it. Does the loop around the mask have its own polygroup? No. It just puts a new polygroup and replaces the mask. So yeah, Dan, I mean, don't take my word for it. I've had mixed results with it, but I've had good results with just masking it and polygrouping it. So that's kind of what I do now, is just stick with it that way. Okay, so let's now that we have these nice clean loops going all the way around, her shorts aren't this long, so we can get rid of these loops and make her shorts shorter. Okay. Let's delete hidden. There we go. But yeah, Dan, that's totally my experience. It's weird because I used to be like, edge loop mask border, that's what you do, because it gives you super clean edges, right? But come to find out, it works just as good, if not better, not doing it that way. Weird. Looks like we have those heart colored shorts. Yep, Nair. All right, let's grab this color. All right, I think I am going to make her eyes a little smaller, her eye openings, at least on these edges. I think that'll help. Okay, so let's show her VODs, because I know it's going to be like shrunken down in there. And you know what's interesting about inflate? You would think you would need to have the gizmo inside of the mesh somewhere, but you don't. You can put the gizmo clear over here and it doesn't matter. Hold down control and inflate and it works, because it's move along normal, so it doesn't matter. And her butt's sticking through. Butt shorts. Okay. So we can either use inflate or move or whatever. We can just inflate around there like that. And now her shirt is sticking through the shorts, so now we can grab the shirt and move it above the shorts so it's not overlapping. Yeah, they really are super short. So at least they don't have the pockets hanging out, I guess. Okay, and then we can do these pocket details and stuff later on. We're just going to get them in place. Okay, and again, we'll grab the body, duplicate it. It's like a rinse and repeat for these socks. These should be easy. Just kind of draw a loop where the sock should end, below her knee, somewhere around there. And then auto groups. So what auto groups does is it will group any individual island into its own group like this. Okay, but it does not respect symmetry. So if you see me doing mirror and weld all the time, that's why. Mirror and weld will copy one side and push it to the other, but not while part of the mesh is hidden. So let's unhide that. Then do mirror and weld. Okay. Now we can isolate these socks, delete hidden. And there we have it. Okay, and we can grab this color. Did I fill those shorts? I did not. Okay, let's fill these shorts with that color. It's funny how they're striped when it's in polygroup mode. Fill. Okay. And then these socks are this color, barely off of the skin color. Okay, and again, just grab this gizmo, pull it over here, hold down control, inflate. Now we have socks. And we can put some details in here for the tops and for the stripes, but right now we don't have enough polygroup information to cut in those details. So we're just going to leave it just like that for now. And then for the shoes, these shoes are going to be fun. Okay. And those eyes are bugging. Before I do the shoes, I'm gonna hit those eyes really quick. They're bugging. All right. So Gizmo in the yellow box is inflate instead of just good old scale. Yeah, so scale is different. So scale is scaling along X, Y, and Z all at the same time. Where if you hold down Control and hit that yellow box, you're going to get move along normal with it, which is not even nearly the same as yeah, you have to hold down Control. And you can see it, like I said, when you show the gizmo, right, and you hover over this box, you can see the little words down here, okay? See how it says Control to inflate? And that's literally, it's almost like going down to the deformation panel, if you've ever messed with that, the deformation right here, and going to inflate right here. It's the exact same thing as doing that, okay? So it's move along normal. So your armpits are gonna close up underneath there. If you were to scale on XYZ, it's gonna scale the entire shirt all at once in one big thing. But if you inflate, it's gonna close it up in the armpits, right? Okay. Now all of a sudden she's looking better because I made her. So whoever suggested her eyes being smaller, thank you. You were correct. So I should have matched the right side of the concept instead of the left. And then she's got such a square head. I want to pull her forehead. Let's hide that hair for a second. It's going to look really weird, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. See how her head is more trapezoidal and less square? I want to get it really square. Hard to do, but we're going to try it. Get it square. It's such a unique challenge. I love it. Hey, what's up, Sean? Okay, so and from this angle, it's going to look even weirder. But it's looking better. That helps, I think. Okay, so now let's make the back match. And make it square as well. Love the sound. What are you talking about? The sound of my voice? Thanks. This is a new microphone. Fairly new. All right. Out, yeah, forward, maybe forward a little bit more. Let's give it more of like a nose shape instead of like a boxer's nose shape, you mean? Let's see if I can push this in so it's more like a normal nose. Pull this out. That maybe. See, I can't tell because the way she's drawn it is just it's collecting the same amount of light across here, right? So, and this one is like there's a highlight here, there's shadow here, and highlight here, which means this is the shape of the nose. Maybe I can just barely pull it out right here. That's better. Let's fix those eyelashes. Square head. I don't know why I'm sculpting with my mouse. Very narrative. Yeah, you're not the first person to tell me that. Thank you very much. People say I sound like Bob Ross or whatever. I actually think if I wasn't doing what I was doing, I'd be in doing voiceover stuff. I like voiceover stuff. I've been voices in a few video games. But just like not anything that you would know, just like thugs and stuff in the background. Like maybe, I think maybe like this. Something like that. I don't know. I'm still working it. Okay. Let's bring her hair back and see if that's any better. Yeah. There you go. Let's make her hair match. Happy little chin. And I'll bring this down to match, but not too far. Something like that. So that's interesting. It's an interesting question, David. The reason why is because it was eating up my stream. So, trying to stream, because my camera is a 4K camera, and it was trying to push my webcam and my 4K cam through and streaming it all at the same time. And it was actually making my microphone be strange. It would like break my microphone. So during the stream. So I will do that. I think I'm going to continue to do that during my pre-recorded stuff, but not during my live streaming stuff. Okay. What, Kevin? I don't understand. What bugs? I don't know, Kevin. I don't know. All right. Just going to pinch this a little bit. Bring it more to the inside. I don't know the answer to that question either. Voiceover? I still don't understand, Kev. So what bugs do you get in Utah that goes oh? I'm completely missing the joke, and I apologize. All right. Oh, thugs. Thugs. So when I was working on Xena Warrior Princess fighting game, I did some thug voices on that, and I worked on this game called Barbarian. I did some thug, not bug, voices on that. They're just fighting games, you know. Okay, wanted to make her arms a little bit longer. Okay, there we go. She's looking a little better. All right, let's see here. Just kind of checking things out a little bit more. And let's get back to her shoes. All right. Dana, you're probably correct. Yep. That's most likely the reason. Okay. Yeah, then you break the silhouette with these chunky pockets, right? Okay. Yeah, Sean, this is OBS. It's not Streamlabs, it's just the regular OBS. Let's see. Duplicate. I tried Streamlabs, and it's pretty cool, but it's behind. So anytime OBS releases a new version, Streamlabs OBS has to catch up. And I was kind of tired of waiting for them to catch up. Even it doesn't take that long for them to do that, but still, it's kind of a hassle. All right, let's see. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do these shoes. They're kind of like these, they're kind of open and then like, I don't know, these laces. They're really vague as far as how they're built. So let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, Chris, you did? Awesome. How are you liking it? How do I put the spotlight behind the model? You really can't. Side effect. You can put it in front of it, and you can make the you can turn the opacity down like this, but you can't really. You can't do it with spotlight. You can do it with putting the image on the floor. I mean, it's not literally on the floor, but the floor has 3 sides. It has a floor, has a back wall, and it has a side wall. So you can map that image to the back wall, and you can get it to be behind your model that way. Oh, hey, what's up, Steven? You read that shape is more of a cylinder that tapers off at the bottom like a top steel. Yeah, so the reason I'm making it so square is because the shape language of the head is square, right? And so I just kind of wanted to continue that shape language around to the side and have it be square all around, just to try and see if I could do it and pull it off. But you could totally make her head like a soup can, right? And make it round. The captain from Wall-E. Thanks, I think. Never, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that now. All right, let's inflate these guys. Whoop. The shoes. Make them pointy. You probably nailed it. I'm sure it sounds like it quite a bit. So I'm gonna go listen to it after this. I haven't seen Wall-E for a while either. Make her shoes pretty pointy. They look like elf shoes almost. I want to go listen to it right now. For now, they are one-sided, yes. Was this poly-modeled and imported, or it was all made in ZBrush? So this is the second episode. You can watch me build it if you want, starting with the episode before this one. So this is the second episode, and I do them in 2-hour increments. So this has been, let's see, 3.5 hours worth of work so far, if you want to look at it that way. Okay, now I want to split this, solo the shoes. Hey, what's up, Melinda? How are you doing? A lot of Utah folks in here today. Okay. See if that goes all the way around. Turn on double so we can see it. Well, thanks, Neil. Yeah, that's where you can find the past streams. Convention season. Which conventions do you have lined up this year? I'm trying to decide which ones I want to go to this year. Trying to decide. I've never been to Monsterpalooza. A lot of my friends go to that. They've asked me to go. I kind of want to go, but it's kind of out of my it's out of my sphere, right? It's monsters, not really like stylized characters, but there's a lot of crossover because it's sculpture. So it's yeah, that's one of them. I'm thinking about Lightbox again. I'm thinking about CTN. I'm thinking about well, the ZBrush Summit, of course. One thing I don't get used to yet is not seeing the final result in your head until you've done some coloring or some advanced forms before I should actually do them. I don't know if I'm explaining. I kind of know. How I explain that part to my students is add react. So basically you add a piece and then you react. Like you can watch me kind of do that when I'm sculpting, where I'll add the hair and then I'll react and kind of measure and say, is that hair close to that eyebrow? Is it close to that ear? How far away is it? You know, is that working? And then, okay, when I get it to a point where I'm feeling pretty good about it, then I add something else, and then I work it again. And I'm like, okay, so is that where it should be? And get everything to where I think it looks good, and then do it again, add something else. So, and usually it doesn't come together until all the pieces are in place, right? It doesn't, and details are just icing on the cake. Like, I'm not going to add these shoelaces and then react as much as I would. You know what I mean? These are tertiary details that you don't really care about, that shouldn't really affect your decision making that much. That's why your blockouts are so important, because the blockouts do affect your decision making overall. So they should be the biggest thing you should be focused on. You could always do more monsters if you want to fit into Monsterpalooza. Ian, if I wanted to, sure. that's the rub though, right? I'm not a big fan of doing monsters. I appreciate it. Like one of my good friends, Martin Van Hoeven, he's a fantastic sculptor, and he's like monster guy. And same with my friend James, and just there's a whole bunch of my friends that go to Monsterpalooza. Brett Briley, he's another streamer on here, fantastic monsters. But I'm just not, that's not me, right? I'm all about the stylized character bit. So yeah, you could totally do stylized monsters. That's for sure. But is that what Monsterpalooza is for? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe. I think they're more about like maybe Gremlins is stylized monsters kind of a thing. I don't know. Okay. So let's see. I want to make the top of this kind of be round. Oh yeah, everything's 80%. Yeah, if you count that witch. I wasn't too happy with how that witch turned out, actually. It was just okay. Okay, so I want to try something with this. Kind of see how this shoe has this inner pink area. What I want to do is Z-remesh it to see if I can get that piece to happen. That area to kind of be surrounded by a mesh, and it will just make it a little easier to build that way. So I'm going to mask it. I don't want to get too close here to the edge. Maybe like that. Okay, put it in its own poly group, even though it's kind of chunky and messed up. That's okay. I can also put the bottom in its own poly group. Why not? That'll just help the Z-remesher do its thing. And then, what else do I want to do? Maybe I could put the top and the back in there on polygroup. And I'm only doing this to help Z-remesher along, that's all. You know what I could do? I'm going to try this. Make it go like this. Probably don't have enough information here. I might need to subdivide it, but I want to make it wrap around this open hole. Yeah, maybe I'll get rid of this line. Something like this. No, I need that one. So you can hit Control W and check out the poly group, and if it doesn't have enough pieces or it needs more, then you can undo it and fix the mask and then do it again. Okay, so now that we have that, let's just see what we get. Drum roll. This is always fun to see what Z-remesher wants to give us, right? It's like asking 3 wishes of a genie. Dear genie, please give me good results. Z-remesher genie. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. So we have it to go back to. I'm going to Z-remesh it to 2000 with keep groups on. Boom. This is what it gives us. Okay, there we go. Actually not too bad. Now it's not curving around the bottom like I was hoping it would. Now they're sandals. Kind of. Smooth that out. Kind of looks like elf boots. It reminds me of elf shoes for some reason. Smooth this out. And I still want it really tight around the ankle. Then when we get the laces wrapped around there, it'll make more sense, I think. But this is not nearly as close to... It gave me a lot of purple in between this blue and this green, which I wasn't expecting. I was hoping it would be closer, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll go back. Let's try this again. And actually get them closer. So let's hide this. Get these closer. So I only want a single band around the top there. See what that gives me. Okay, and then this. Let's see. Let's close that right up. You'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. Make this bigger. Takes some time, but it's worth it in the end. Okay. Let's see here. And then I want these two to be in the same poly group. That's kind of how you add to the poly group. See, I want these two to be together and share an edge. Dirk the Daring. You could also hide all but the green and grow visible. Oh yeah, you totally could do that. Like grow. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's an option. Okay, let's see what this gives us. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Still too much. Still giving me too much. Oh well. Here, I'm gonna go forward. We're done. I can actually kind of get rid of that top row if I want to, but that works. Okay. So then if I wanted to, let's see, I can just start messing with this. Just kind of make it look how I want it to look. Squeeze it together. That's the only thing about having a single-sided surface is when you want to smooth it, and I think there's a way to change this in the smoothing brush properties, but the smooth brush won't touch the open edges. I need to ask Paul Gabriel about that, unless one of you guys know how to turn that off. Okay, I'm going to actually Z-remesh this at a 1. Get it even lower. There we go. And shape this better. Power laces. Or those pump shoes, you know, those ones that you like, you pump it up. Pump shoes. Okay. Good enough. Here we go. So now what we can do is duplicate this. I can just hide everything but this piece. Delete it. And then inflate it or move it. And then we'll extrude that later. It's funny because now her feet are sticking through the shoes because they got deflated so much. Those are her socks. You can actually go through and delete these, you know, the internal. You don't need to keep the actual like foot in the shoe. Is that what LA Gear? Hello, I want to learn how to sculpt stylized objects. Do you have any tips for a beginner? My main tip is just to start doing it. Just start going. And then my second tip is just try and get good at moving primitive objects around in your scene. And just get good at the move brush and moving them around. See, the main brush, I have all these brushes, right? But the number one brush I use is just move. We're just moving stuff around. So get really good at using the move brush. And then I actually teach an online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop, and I start from very, very, very beginner, like your first day in ZBrush, and go all the way to finished stylized character. If you're interested in that, grab this color, fill it. But that's, you know, you want to take something like that after you know that that's something you want to do. Let's see. Grab this color. Been told it's not a problem to do both people and creatures for character, but do you think you should focus on realistic or cartoon? It's completely up to you. Completely up to you. It depends on what you want to do and where you want to be. There's plenty of opportunities for both stylized and realistic. I really don't do realistic myself. Obviously, if you look at my portfolio on ArtStation, it's all about stylized characters, and I've made a career of 22 years doing stylized characters so far. And I don't, like I said, I don't do realistic characters, so completely up to you what you want to do. And it doesn't matter if you do, because I do plenty of animals and creatures and humans, all sorts of stuff. That doesn't really matter too much either. Okay, let's see. Let's go 0.3. free and see what that gives us. I want to get rid of this little, there we go. That's good. And let's see. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, it's pretty good. I do want to squish this down though. You have been streaming on the Pixologic live stream channel for quite some time now. I think we have over 100 episodes. So you can always watch through those. I don't give away quite as much information as I do in the course, but I do give away a lot. So it just depends. And there's it comes with the community and other students and Q&A sessions every Friday. So you can submit your work and I could go over it and help you. Is it realistically possible to work full-time freelance as a stylized character artist? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it might take a while, but it's possible. You usually have to establish yourself in a full-time job first, but things are becoming less and less like that, where there are companies that are looking for full-time freelance outside because it's just not viable to move people to the studio location as much anymore. And we have the internet, we have the tools to work in an outsourcing sort of way. I'm just working on these hands a little bit. I've done my share of freelance work. I did it full time for a little while, but not too much. I've usually held full-time jobs with doing it. Oh, thanks, Neil. Smooth brush mods. Okay, I'll have to check that out. The thing I don't really know. I enjoy more realistic, but I love so much some cartoonish styles and I want to learn them as well. I mean, you can do both. It doesn't, I mean, there are artists that do both. I'm just saying where my interest lies in stylized. That doesn't mean I couldn't do realistic. I just choose not to, you know. There are absolutely artists like Ashley, for example, A Cubed. I think she's on tomorrow. She does realistic looking creatures and dragons and things like that, but then she does work on television series with stylized characters. So it just depends on where your skill is and what you want to do. And yeah, there's no wrong way to do it, or, you know, just focus on whatever you want. It's kind of like if you think about musicians, you know, should I focus on the guitar? Should I focus on the bass? Should I focus on drums? It doesn't matter. Just play, you know, just learn music and play. So just sculpt. It's all going to help you in the end, you know. So back's a little on the lump side. Okay, let's see what time we got. 44. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna have time to get this to pose today. But I don't think I have my insert multi-mesh laces installed in 2020 right now. But I found these really cool laces that I just like draw on the shoe and they work really well. Other guys do the retopology stuff in production? Not necessarily. It depends on the production. I have outsourced the retopology, but I've done a lot of it myself. It depends on the company that you're working for and how much they want to pay or deal with outsourcing. Your experience is ZRemesher enough to get animatable topology? You always have to topologize manually. That's the hard truth, unfortunately, right now. If you give a ZRemesh mesh to a rigging professional, they're gonna throw it back and say, "Do this right." Unfortunately, I mean, ZRemesher is really, really good. It's just not. It's too even. The mesh is too even. I think there will become a day when it's good enough because the consoles and things are getting better and better, so the mesh can get higher and higher density, so it doesn't matter as much. But for now, it's all retopology by hand. Yeah, Zuna, are you liking it? You like the freelance? Especially around the face and the knees and the elbows, anywhere it's going to deform. Henry, 2020 updates for the course? Not really. I do want to make a lesson on how to adjust colors. So with the poly groups or with the poly paint, how to adjust the colors, but that's really kind of the biggest change that happened in 2020 that we can use as stylized character artists. And then you can, there's always the ZZoo stuff that you can start from. I created all those ZZoo characters, if you guys didn't know that. Okay, I want to add these. I'm going to add some subdivision levels to her face. So I'm going to hit apply. Control D a couple times. What do we got? 2. Okay, that should be enough. No, I don't work for Pixologic, so I don't know what their timeline is on things. I just help them out here and there when they need me to. So I hope they're working on UV peel because that looks really cool. Smooth edges was on Ask ZBrush. Oh, okay, awesome, thanks. Yeah, I know it's definitely in development, but I don't know when they plan on releasing it. Keep going too hard on this. Okay. How's this lipstick? Lipstick. Okay. Now let's come back and fix it. Okay, need to smooth this out. To support it better. Well, that's smoothing RGB. Didn't want to do that. Smooth will also smooth your colors out, so you need to be careful. Yeah, Ravens, I like it too. It's like I said it before, it can be therapeutic. Topology, it's very much like a puzzle. Or it can be. It's pretty satisfying too to come up with very deformable geometry that you're happy to hand over to the rigging department. It's like, here you go. This should shape well, you know. No, she doesn't really have pupils. Just she does have like dark circles from the drawing that I might add, but I kind of like what she looks like now. We'll see. I might add, let's see, let me add some subdivision levels. and then we can do something to it. Dude, Henry, I think I just answered that. Did you not catch it? I can repeat myself if you like, but okay, let's see, darken. Oh, you disconnected? Oh, okay. So essentially what I said was the only thing that really applies to the stylized character course in 2020 that's new is the poly paint stuff. So I do want to add some of the how you can change the poly paint, like change the different colors. I do want to add that stuff, but that's pretty much the only thing. Ahmed, unfortunately I don't have time to do it here, but that's what I do every Friday for my students in my workshop. Is that's part of the workshop, is to critique what they're working on. But yeah, I don't really have time during the stream to do it. Let's see. There's some poles or something happening right here that's making this quite lumpy. Am I going to render this? I don't know. Because usually these characters I do on this stream are just for fun, and I usually don't. They're not used for portfolio or anything like that. Sometimes I'll end up printing them out, or rendering them. And usually when I render them in Keyshot. Let's see. I kind of want to bend her smile even more a little bit. Yeah, no problem. Kick that up a little bit. Pull these lashes down a little bit. I don't know why I'm using my mouse again. I catch myself just like clicking. Okay, then I can do some freckles across her face. This is kind of a fun trick. So let's go up in subdivision levels. Okay, and then let's grab, maybe this color, and we'll take it into the red. Something like this. Okay, now we can grab the hard paintbrush and we can change our stroke type to click drag rectangle, and then change our alpha to this like spotty little alpha right here, or this one, probably this one. Okay, so something like this, but light. So let's go lighter on the RGB intensity. Not that light. So nostrils, I'm probably not going to put those nostrils in because it takes away from the appeal of the character sometimes, especially on a character like this one. I might just barely indent them, but not as hard as these are. That's just kind of an artistic choice. I'm going to turn off symmetry and do this asymmetrical here. There we go. Yeah, she can breathe through her mouth. Doesn't need nostrils. Oh, okay, then I'm gonna grab this color and just kind of push them back down. There we go. Something like that. Yeah, because nostrils are tricky because it's the same with lower eyelids. I don't know what it is, but those are the things that can really take away from the appeal in a big hurry. You just got to be careful with them. So maybe something as subtle as that. Might be all right. Oh, thanks. That squirrel was hilarious. I want to make some of the other ones too. Okay. So what I have left on her is building out the hair, thickening up the clothes, doing the details like the pockets and the stuff like that, and the stripes and texture on her socks and her laces, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I'll be doing that during a live stream or not. Yeah, these nostrils are all right. What am I grab? Okay, I didn't mean to grab the eyes. I want the lashes. There we go. How did you stock the image on top with PureRef? No, it's with Spotlight. That closer, just a little bit. So Spotlight comes with ZBrush. You just load in the texture. And the reason I like to use Spotlight over PureRef is simply because I can, like, and I know you can do this with PureRef too, but I can eyedrop the colors, I can hover over, and I can turn the opacity up and down, all sorts of different things. So to get the hard lines around the nose, did you use the pinch brush? Yes. Yeah, this is just pinch brush right here. Yes, I always work on an A pose, because just so I can have the symmetry for as long as possible, and then I will pose it after I'm all done, usually. Okay. I think we are at a good spot. So I'll have to decide whether I want to continue working on her on the next one or start a new one and work on her details offline. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm still not a huge fan of how she looks in the profile, but from the front, she's all right. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. Thanks everybody for hanging out. It's been fun. Another character. I need to really like focus on what that means. All right, guys. Oh, thanks. All right, everybody. Yep, till next time, till next Monday. Let me see. Like I said, I don't know if I'll do a new character or if we'll continue working on this one, but that is, yeah, I'll be having, I still need to do the hair and the details. So I may just turn this into one more session. We'll see. And as always, if you like my user interface with these brushes, you can always download them over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I do an online course I have over 1,000 students now, pretty crazy. So if you'd like to join us over there, you can also check that out at the 3D Character Workshop and join us over there and make some awesome stylized sculpts, make a New Year's resolution to finally get into making stylized characters this year. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you again next Monday. Take care, and thank you, Pixologic, for allowing me to sculpt on here. It's always a blast. All right, see you guys. Have a good one next week. See ya.